You can see just how much rain is falling down at this hour. We have personally witnessed 3 water rescues ripped right out of the ground. The porch is mostly gone. So many different organizations came here. They donated sandwiches, food. Picking up your phone and reading a text while behind the wheel is virtually the same. This round was made right here in Lake City. Young children get only 2 hours of screen time all day. It is a reminder to students about the dangers on the road. 183 thefts. Take a look. This is the heat map. This is where the suspects parked their minivan. A bit of a chaotic scene right now as this manhunt, we believe, is still underway. It's one of the more emotional homicide scenes we've been at. Businesses hire private security. They've got these barriers that soon will be upgraded. These attacks are silent. Many people are now rethinking their habits. There are 17 cows out here hiding in the brush. Got it. Darlene Davis, the head of recruiting, gives me a crash course. Now, Conway's not just here to observe the sun. He's using the sun. I've been entertaining them, not nearly as good as Garth Brooks, but Sherry Jameson is the furthest away that we could find. You guys walk outside, I'll go around this way, and I can walk through half of the house in a matter of seconds. Here I am in the main living space. Tonight, people are devastated and dealing with the grief. They lost a friend and neighbor just 8 years old. Tonight on the street, there are trash bags still on this block because after this accident, everything stopped. Words cannot express the sorrow as loved ones received the news. Nothing could save the little boy after the garbage truck hit him.
I don't understand how this accident happens. I know the guy. He been in my backyard, played basketball with our kids. It's just so tragic in our neighborhood today. It's a bad day in our neighborhood.
Police got the call just before 3:30. 2 boys were playing outside with a red wagon.
I just heard screaming.
No one witnessed the accident, but people came running.
I just seen a young boy just trapped underneath the tires.
One boy was able to roll out of the way. He yelled at the driver to stop, but it was too late. The other boy was caught under the rear wheel of the truck.
That could have been anybody's kid. It could have been mine.
Neighbors say the driver had to back up to free the boy. He was a 3rd grader at Truman Elementary.
Well, they're always out playing in the street, and I think they should be on the sidewalk, as young as they are.
Our sidewalks are not the best sidewalks. And you see on the opposite side, we don't have sidewalks. So sometimes you're forced to play in the streets, not by, it shouldn't be in the street, but as an adult, it's just sad.
Someone performed CPR, and the boy was rushed to the hospital, but there was nothing they could do, and it's breaking the hearts of everyone in the community.
I'm praying for the family. We're going to make it through this. We're a neighborhood. We're a community. We want to make it through this.
And tonight, there are a lot of cars outside the home, a lot more than this afternoon, as people have been coming to rally and support this family. We've also learned that the friend who was with the 8-year-old boy, he has been released from the hospital, and it's still unclear what led up, why those children were out on the road when this all happened this afternoon. Live in Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News. BAC is how Mike Kerrigan spells jazz.
Guys from Bruno Mars, Taylor Swift.
The custom instrument builder gets requests.
I couldn't believe that they flew in from Paris for that.
From all over the world.
The Canadian brasses.
From all kinds of artists.
And all of this engraving is all completely hand done by one of our guys here.
For all kinds of concerts.
So this will be our 3rd horn featured in the Super Bowl in the last 4 years.
But he's never done something.
Mike, we're doing the Super Bowl. We need to talk about a horn. I need to get something really cool.
Quite this bold.
Look at that sparkle when it's under the lights.
The paint job was chosen by Kevin Williams, inspired by a car.
But this is the gentleman we're making a new horn for. This is his 2nd BAC horn.
Williams is in Justin Timberlake's band, the Tennessee Kids.
And then check this out. It gets better. Whoa!
It's the first trombone to have LED lights built in with custom logo and carbon fiber slide.
It may not seem like a lot, but for a trombone player, a lot of guys over the years start getting carpal tunnel and tennis elbow, that kind of thing.
Trevor Turla is testing it out before it's shipped to Williams.
Having a horn that I was a part of to play as well, so it's pretty nifty.
So when you watch the halftime show, when you see BAC, think KC. In Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News. Yeah, well, the family is devastated. Neighbors are working to get him back. Syed Jamal has been in the country for the last 3 decades on various student and work visas, where he's been a local professor at a community college. He was getting his kids ready for school one morning when ICE showed up, arrested him, and now he awaits deportation.
I don't really understand why this is happening.
Every night, there are tears at the Jamal home.
So that's frustrating because he hasn't done anything wrong.
So, this is my dad and I.
Syed Jamal is the model father.
He's obviously a very dedicated dad.
Always there, always involved.
If anything goes wrong, he's always on top of it.
Until Wednesday, January 24th, when ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, told him he's going back to Bangladesh after more than 30 years in the States.
Sometimes, like out of the middle of nowhere, I just start thinking about what might happen to him.
It's hard for Mom to carry the load.
I haven't seen her eat recently.
My brother has breakdowns every once in a while. He's only 7, so it's really hard on him.
These pictures capture the moments they cherish,
I just want him to come back.
but they fear the future may be very different.
I don't really think it's right, and no one has the power, and no one should be able to do that to anyone.
After 3 decades of living the American dream, this family fears their dreaming is over.
People who don't do anything wrong shouldn't have to face things like this.
And you can hear the sorrow in their voices. Bangladesh is 8,000 miles from here, and there they say he is a minority. He could be hurt or killed if he returns. Live in Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News.
Why don't they just get legal? Why didn't he just become a citizen? That is not a reality. That's not a thing. It doesn't happen like that.
For people like Syed Jamal, who travel to America as students or workers on non-immigrant visas, there is no path to citizenship. Only those who are petitioned by a U.S. family member or a U.S. company have a long shot at becoming a citizen.
What you see is a man who's trying to use the system that exists in a manner that it's supposed to be used, but he's unsuccessful.
10 years ago, Jamal's brother, a U.S. citizen, filed the paperwork to sponsor Syed. The State Department has a 14-year backlog of requests. It won't get to his application for another 4 years.
The immigration laws are not written very well, and they're incredibly unforgiving.
The backlog is caused by a cap on family-sponsored visas. 226,000 are granted each year, and more people apply than there are visas.
He's teaching future generations of doctors, engineers, scientists, and they know where he is. He's not hiding. He's going to work every day.
Jamal has permission to work through October 2018, and he was teaching at Park University. He never expected to be deported.
We're going to, by surprise, ambush you in your house while you're trying to take your child to school and scoop you up and throw you in a jail cell. That's not really how that works.
The way it works is, if in 4 years the State Department reviews the application, then approves Jamal's permanent residency, Jamal must remain in the country and follow all the rules for 5 more years before he can apply for U.S. citizenship.
This is someone who's been trying to follow the rules.
Despite 30 years in the country, the idea that he should have applied for citizenship is still 9 years premature. In Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC 9 News.